Evening, boys.
Evening, Sally.
Welcome to The Chatting, your local pubcast. I'm Rob.
I'm Kirk.
I'm Mark.
And I'm the other Mark. 3 pints, Sally. And what are you having?
Yeah, get me a Mai Tai.
Cheers. I'll fetch him over.
Evening, Oh, there's one for the
Evening,
record.
boys. One of 8, 7.
Evening, Rob. Evening, Mark.
Evening, Rob.
Evening, Mark.
Evening, Rob.
Evening, Kirk.
Evening, Rob.
Evening, Mark.
Can I speak now?
I've just said your name.
I know. Evening.
Evening,
How
Mark.
are we doing? All right.
Evening,
Hi,
Kirk.
boys.
Evening, Mark.
Evening.
That was funny, that weren't it?
Evening, Mark.
Yeah.
Evening, Kirk.
Like
Evening, Mark. Evening, Rob.
synchronised.
Well, I won't call it synchronised.
What would you call it?
Epileptic?
Okay, that's another word for it.
Yeah.
Chaotic.
Chaotic, yeah.
Okay.
Are you all okay?
Very
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
Are
I
you?
am.
Why?
Oh, yeah.
Go on.
Conservatory thing.
Tell us.
Is it
Have you won
building work?
lottery? You won't be sat there if you had, would you?
We watched Michael Jackson the other night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, the film, yes.
Oh, yeah, I've seen your video on Instagram.
Oh, did you
Yeah.
have you seen it, Kurt?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
What video?
It's
Rob mincing round his back garden.
yeah. So we went to watch Michael Jackson on Wednesday when it
What's this
launched.
got to do with your video?
Michael the film.
'Cause
Michael the film.
You'll know if you see it.
Yeah, we didn't go watch Michael Jackson.
No.
That would have been really boring.
Yes, the film that's out, yes, about his life.
And then the next day, I was cutting the grass, and you know,
I just knocked my microphone. The wire were twisted around the other wire, and I can't cope with that. It has to be sat on top of it. Sorry, Rob.
I'm glad you told everyone.
You can
Is there-
carry
is
on.
there
I'm just letting you know
OCD-ness?
why I knocked the microphone, and Kurt's looking at me like, "Do you realise you've knocked your microphone?"
I was cutting my grass, and I
you
was
started dancing.
and I was listening to Michael Jackson.
Right.
And what happens when you put headphones on me and I'm lost in my own world? I just dance.
Yeah.
And I've done it before when I was jet washing. I would dance. I would cutting grass, and I finished. And I thought, why am I out of breath? And I thought, I've just been dancing because it's genuinely. I don't realise I'm doing it at the time. Do you remember we talked about that thing that time, didn't we? Where you count to 5.
Yeah.
I guess you are aware you're doing it, but
Yeah.
I don't really think about it at the time. And afterwards, I was like, I think I've just had a big dance there. And I was laughing to myself, and I thought, I'll just double check it on CCTV. I was right. I pulled out some right moves.
Did you?
So I thought, do you know what? I don't really post very often, but it's quite funny and it's apt. So
It's really good.
Has it gone viral?
Not yet. I don't think it will, to be fair. But yeah. Anyway, we watched the film.
Okay.
We did.
Very good.
Your verdict of it?
Well,
'Cause
mine differs from Kirk's slightly.
Okay. Fill us in then, without boring us.
Okay. Well, I loved it. It went back. It went back as far as I would have wanted it to go back, and it went up to a point where I think
You didn't want to watch any more.
No. For where
It stopped before he started babysitting.
Well, that's pretty much where we're at. Where it ended was where it starts to get a little bit grey, where things start to go into question.
Yeah,
Grey? Is that when he had that skin problem?
No.
Because
no.
they don't cover any of that stuff in the film.
No.
That's my understanding of it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but what they covered, I thought was great, and Jafar Jackson is absolutely incredible.
This is his nephew, who plays the part of it.
Just incredible. I said to Kirk, didn't I? I said, it feels as though they
I
said...
thought you were going to say, I said to Kirk, didn't I, Kirk? Kirk, what did I say? Remember that?
I said... That's a bit chuckle, that. I said to Kirk that it's almost like they said, Jafar, you cannot be as good as Michael Jackson. You have to be better.
I thought you were in Aladdin.
He was, but not Jackson. You've got to be better. You know, like, because Michael Jackson wanted to be the best. Mm-hmm. It was like they wanted to show him in, like, just the best like they possibly could and just be amazing, and he was.
Okay.
Sensational.
So
His moves, everything. The way they made him look like Michael is just insane. But yeah,
Well,
anyway.
I have seen a trailer to it. It does look very, very
yeah,
good.
that's what I thought.
Right, okay. So you enjoyed the film. You thought
I
it was.
loved it, mate,
I
yeah.
mean,
obviously
I've not seen it, and we're gonna speak to Kirk in a minute. But I know it's split opinions a bit.
I think
A few people's a little bit. It's a bit too glossy. Don't really cover. I mean, this is not my opinion. It's just reviews I've
for
read.
me, the whole glossy thing, I'm not whether I agree with that. It's kind of like, yeah, you can look at it whether it's not dark or in dark enough or honest enough and any of that. But I know that where Kirk's going to go is the depth that it goes into, which I'm not really that bothered about. Mm-hmm. Over to you, Kirk.
Yeah. So, what did you think then, Kirk? Anyway, moving on then.
For a bit of context, I am a massive Michael Jackson fan for the listeners. As in, like, I have a Michael Jackson tattoo. I have Michael Jackson memorabilia. I've been a Michael Jackson fan all my life. And I am a big fan. So I also appreciate that I was always going to look at it through very critical eyes.
Yeah.
And I knew that. Fundamentally, the film is very, very good. I enjoyed the film. Jafar's performance is incredible. Absolutely incredible. In fact, all the performances are incredible.
Yeah,
in it.
they were.
And it's a good film. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it's not or whatever. It is. And they have left it open. They've hinted to the fact that there'll be a part 2, which will be very interesting how they address that.
Right, okay.
But
are you talking about the sort of more darker side to things that happened to him? Yeah, okay.
But the thing for me, and I was trying to think of the way to how to describe it, and I was talking to Mark about it on the phone.
Me?
No, other one. And he helped me sum it up. It had missed opportunities.
Okay.
The film had missed opportunities. So for me, they missed out a massive segment of the journey through Motown. So literally in the film, spoiler alert for anyone, but in the film it goes the sign to Motown and then it skips to 7 years later.
Okay.
So all the journey through Motown, the journey that the fact they fell out with Motown, the fact that Motown retained the name of Jackson 5, so they couldn't be called that anymore, the whole argument about who owned the musical rights, the fact that Jermaine left the band and stayed with Motown, that was a massive, massive, massive thing to just go 7 years later.
Right.
It just felt as though it was a massive piece to miss. And then the problem is then what the knock-on effect that had was then a big piece of Michael Jackson's history as in him as a performer, whatever it is, was the whole Motown 25 reunion. And the fact that Motown invited them back and they didn't know whether to go back or not, and they agreed that they would go back if they performed as brothers, if Michael then could perform on his own. That's when he sang Billie Jean. That's the first time he did the moonwalk. Now they featured a scene of Motown 25, of him doing the moonwalk and stuff like that, but it didn't have the gravitas because you didn't know what
You didn't know the backstory
meant,
to it.
the backstory to it, or the fact
yeah.
that everybody had just watched the Jackson 5 perform and everyone was happy with that, but then that performance showed that he was out on it, like he was a megastar. He wasn't just a star, he was a megastar. And that catapulted his start of his career to what he became. And again, I think they downplayed it. You know, I know Rob said to me, look, they've got to cut some things. They can't have it all. Totally get it.
How long is the film?
2 hours, 20 minutes?
It's not overly long for films these days, is it?
No.
Not really. Not for a biopic, because normally
And
they're
if it's
quite
going
long.
and if it's going to be in 2 parts, then you could have extended the stuff that they've cut out there and save some of this stuff for the bit that they're probably trying to squeeze together for the next one.
But I still
or stretch out, should I say?
I still think there were other things in the film that could have been cut shorter. So, like for instance, you know, they did the whole Bubbles thing, you know, which is fine. But it's almost as though they've gone, right, we've gone to the expense of the CGI for the monkey, so we're going to get as much out of it as possible.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Fundamentally,
Just use the real one. It would have been easier.
All they needed to do
And cheaper.
was show the scene where he had Bubbles delivered. That's it. They didn't
Bubbles
need
delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in a cardboard box or something.
Well, it was in a truck, but yeah.
Delivered.
You know, they didn't need
Amazon next day.
they didn't need to show the other stuff and Bubbles around the house and Bubbles in playing Twister with Bubbles, and you know, they didn't need to go to that degree. They didn't need to go to the degree that showing that he got a pet snake and showing him washing the giraffe. I just felt as though
Washing the giraffe.
Yeah, I just felt as though there were certain things that they
Is
went
that
in
a
on.
term for something?
Walking the llama.
Walking the llama.
You're going to say it's full of euphemisms.
Yeah. So yeah, fundamentally, film was great. I did enjoy it. I need to go back and watch it again because we were slightly interrupted.
This is hilarious. Can I just ask you a quick question first?
You've got to tell us about what happened there.
Would you have liked to have seen a little bit more behind the scenes, Kirk, at Motown, of like the meetings that they'd had that were really important, as you know, down the lines of what you said about the whole decisions that got made? Do you think you would have liked to have seen more of that bit, so it wasn't just what? Because we all saw it from Michael Jackson's standpoint. Would you have liked to have seen it from another standpoint as well, where we got a bit more of what was going on away from Michael behind the scenes?
Yeah, especially seeing as them people are still alive and they could have actually given an actual
that's
account
what I mean.
of it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think they did really well with the whole when Michael was recording Who's Loving You, and you saw the look on Berry Gordy's face and how they portrayed that, of that realization of this guy's about to make me one of the richest people in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is the film kind of goes from that to 7 years later, they're not with Motown anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
And you kind of go, you know.
And did they not even explain that? He just literally jumped and
Yeah.
so people who didn't. So for example, people who don't know that.
Me.
For example, you.
I left the film not knowing that.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
right,
so, I mean,
okay.
they even had to put a throwaway line in where they were talking about the victory tour that they did,
Yeah.
as the Jacksons, and they even had to put a throwaway line in of, we can't do a tour without Jermaine. Well, Jermaine decided to stay with Motown, so that's what he'll have to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Almost
I mean-
as if that's covered that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
move on.
yeah.
Tick,
Yeah.
done, move
Right,
on.
okay, right.
I think a lot of the talk about it has been that you won't come out knowing anything new.
Do you think it were made more as in a I mean, again, I've not seen it, but do you think it were made more in a way as in a showbiz? Here's the music.
No, I wouldn't have.
in a glossy way.
You see,
no?
that's the thing. I wouldn't
No?
have minded if it were. I wouldn't
So
have
they've
minded
tried
if
to
it
do.
were.
They've tried to do two things. Then
I tell you how the best I think I explained it to Mark was
you've not explained it to me.
other one is it felt lazy.
Really?
It felt as though they've
A
gone,
money
do you know
grab.
what? This is going to sell no matter what
Yeah.
because it's Michael Jackson.
Ah,
So therefore,
What's the least we can do to
Yeah.
get away with as much as we can?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm not talking about the performances. I'm not talking about
No,
the performances.
talk
The performances
more
were
about the
unbelievable.
story, I
The
think.
story,
The
that
productions.
how it was
Yeah.
put together.
Yep.
The
Yep.
last 30 minutes was unbelievable. And for me, if they'd have followed that throughout the entire film, the film would have been an epic film.
Yeah.
It's the fact that it's, you know, they went hell for leather in the last 30 minutes where you were sat there thinking, oh my God, you know, you felt it, but there was no ramp up. There was no ramp up to it. And that to me just felt
I
it
think
just
there was
felt
a
bit
ramp
flat.
up to it, but I get what you're saying about the depth. But again, I think also, if you don't know that Michael Jackson, if you don't know that whole Motown story, and you don't know anybody that knows that Motown story, you're not gonna leave, I don't think, feeling how you felt, because you don't know there's anything that they missed out.
No, but you also don't know that the shift in these things that happened is what made Michael
Yeah,
Jackson.
I do.
So if you're
listen,
telling his life and if you're telling his musical life, then you come away, yes, not knowing it, and I suppose you go, well, if you don't know it, then what have you missed?
well, you know how I reacted when we first finished. I
Yeah.
was like, as ever, that was incredible, amazing, phenomenal. Kirk told me literally a few things, and I then felt slightly robbed.
Yeah.
Because then I was like,
Right, okay.
oh,
Like
you've
our
just
listeners
denied
will
me
do
of
now-
something,
now they know.
actually.
and also from a personal point of view, and I get that this is personal point of view, I like things to be very chronological. I like things to be very much in order.
Yep.
So like for me, when
Me
they're
too.
showing the scene of him coming out of his house, so he'd have been about, what, 18, 19, to take the delivery of Bubbles,
Okay.
the music that they was using underneath it to
Yeah.
underscore the scene was Rocky Robin.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, no, Rocky Robin isn't
That time.
that time.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago. Do you know what I mean? And it's little things like that I go, it's just lazy.
Yeah,
it's
that
just lazy.
I must admit, I picked up on a couple of them. There was more than that, wasn't there?
Yeah,
There
there
was
were a
more
few. There were a
instances
few,
where
yeah.
they played tracks that were from a different era, and you were like, I know it's his music, but not
Yeah.
the right
They've got,
era
they've
to
got,
be
they've
doing
got
that.
to play him.
And full songs that were shown in the film. I'm not talking about Jackson 5 songs. I'm talking about Michael Jackson songs where there was full songs done on
And he
camera.
performed them. Yeah.
Was Human Nature.
Did they show him in full?
Well, the ones he's talking about now, yes.
Yeah. He performed them as part of a scene, as part of telling a scene. But yes,
Human Nature. Yeah.
so
I don't think I've ever seen a biopic or whatever where they've covered a musician and they've also that musician in the film has covered a song in its entirety.
It's kind of instrumental, though, because of how big the performance was in
yeah,
his
but what
career.
I'm saying is because I mean a song's 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes.
yeah.
And for all that, for the full song, it's not something I don't recall ever seen before.
Talking about songs, I've read some, because again, just to clarify, I've not seen the film. Some of the songs in this film are Michael Jackson's vocals are overlaid onto the tracks, aren't they? He doesn't sing the songs in it.
I was made to believe that that Jafar sings the song.
He does sing.
That's why they're releasing
He does sing
That's why they're releasing a soundtrack.
But, but apparently some of the tracks, Michael Jackson's vocals are overlaid onto it.
I don't know for sure, but if I was to say that was the case, it'll be the younger Michael Jackson.
Okay, I don't know which one's the blur.
I have looked into it a little bit more.
Okay.
They actually blended Jafar and Michael.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Did he hypnotise the Sultan?
You're still on with Aladdin, aren't you? They blended the voices of Jafar and Michael. That's because they wanted it to be like a joint thing where it wasn't just Michael Jackson singing.
Right.
So it was layered apparently.
On all the tracks are just some?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I'd be lying if I said I knew.
Okay.
The songs that were
Human
like
Nature,
featured,
then.
Human Nature, Bad, and...
Bad as in the video to it, or just a performance?
It's hard because it's showing a scene of what he did to bring gangs together to try and help gang warfare, which is the whole idea where Bad came from.
Right.
So it's explaining that scene, and while they're explaining that scene, he's performing the song Bad.
Okay.
So
it's not the video as we know it as.
Human Nature, Bad, and what was the last song that he sung?
Thriller?
No.
That's what I mean. There was what, a minute and a half of Thriller?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was more about the making of the
More
video.
about the making of the
anything.
video, but it was in the camera shot.
I can't remember the last song, Kirk. I want to tell you about this.
Yeah, something happened in the cinema.
Look, go and watch it. It's a great film. I just want to, just before you said that, my daughter went last night. She's nearly 15 years old. She does like Michael Jackson, but she went, as far as she's concerned, she's explained it as the best film she's ever seen.
Yeah.
She absolutely loves it. She bought the Michael Jackson souvenir cup thing, gold microphone cup thing. She absolutely loved it, and she loved it. So
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll wait for it to come out on DVD.
So get this
VHS.
right.
I'll wait for VHS.
So you've got Michael Jackson, the first film that's ever been made.
Careful on this one, Rob.
I will. The first film that's ever been made. Yeah. Kirk's waited his whole life for this moment.
It isn't.
What?
It isn't the first film that's ever been made.
Are you just being funny?
No, I've watched it.
The first film about Michael Jackson's life.
There has been other docu-series and films.
An actual film.
Are you talking about a cinematic presentation?
Cinematic presentation about Michael Jackson. Has there?
I mean, there's been lots of documentaries about him.
I think this is the first one that would be classed as a biopic.
Okay.
Well,
anyway,
while Mark's checking
this big moment, Kirk's been waiting a long time for this,
Yes.
and we sit down. The film's about to start, and within 5 seconds of the film starting, there's a young boy behind Kirk, directly behind Kirk, and he is excited. And give him his dues, he knew about Michael Jackson. But my gosh, he wanted to talk to his dad, and he wanted to tell his dad every fact he knew about Michael Jackson, but not quietly. And his dad didn't mind telling his son whether he was right or wrong at the same level that he wanted to tell him. And it was directly behind Kirk. And when you know Kirk, and you're watching a film and you're thinking, Kirk ain't going to like this.
Well, I don't think most people would like it, because it does disrupt your things, doesn't it?
So you get so far, and there comes a point where you want to turn around and say, right, enough's enough.
Yeah.
But in fairness, the boy in question had
Mine.
Say what?
Good reference there, man. I like it.
It got special needs, maybe? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so straight away, you put it the best, Kurt, didn't you? That as soon as you saw him, he was literally like his...
this lad were dancing, stood up,
Really?
And
every song.
And Rob didn't even know he had a son.
And I was sat watching, and at one bit I thought, I've had enough. And I turned round, as I do, and I turned round, and do you know what? I couldn't be mad. This lad just had pure joy on his face, just pure and utter. He was having the time of his life, and I thought, do you know what?
So
I'll come again.
So you just did you just roll your eyes at him and then turn back round?
No, I didn't even roll my eyes. I just thought to myself, do you know what? Enjoy it, mate. Enjoy it. Yes, I would sit there and go, if you've got a child that might struggle with that, and what point do you start thinking about other people, and what point do you go on a preview night to IMAX and sit in the middle of IMAX and stuff like that, and engage in conversation with him at full volume Absolutely. But I couldn't be mad.
That weren't his fault, were it?
I couldn't be mad. I turned around, I looked at him. This lad was having the time of his life. And I just thought, you know what, fair play, I'll just go and watch it. I'll just go and watch it again.
Every single song, he was up and he was throwing shapes. I mean, if anything, it was just lucky that we were sat in front of him, because if he were in front of you, Kirk, you wouldn't have seen much of the film.
I'd have had to move.
How busy was it?
He did get quite busy.
He did get quite busy.
Was he not annoying other people?
I'm going to guess so.
Yeah.
But nobody said anything to him?
Well, no, because everybody could see the situation. And you just go, you know what?
True, but I mean, we aren't getting into debate. It's a bit of a grey area, isn't it?
6-7.
You know,
what you're doing with your hands, it's a bit of a debate. 6-7.
You know what I mean? Because where do you? Do you know what I mean? I mean, do you spoil somebody's?
You wouldn't have been happy.
You just spoil. Yeah, exactly. Just spoil somebody else's enjoyment.
Well, as Kirk said it, if any, nothing wrong. They're entitled to go to the cinema and watch the film. It was just their choice to sit exactly where they sat. Was a little bit like, But
anyway,
Have you been up to Oak Mark?
Oh, Mark's bored.
How much can you talk about a child dancing in the cinema?
We were at the end of it anyway.
Well, yeah, we're going to move on anyway. I got a few things to say because I mentioned it in a group chat.
But we ain't got time now. So,
but I've forgotten what they were. So I've been trying to rack my brains what I've been up to.
Oh,
so I forgot.
You must have a lot on. Your life must be really busy and
it is really it is really busy and chaotic. Yeah, maybe. But I forgot.
All right. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, I've been up to a few things.
What have you been doing?
Last Friday, it was before last Friday. Seb dropped a message and said, we need a vinyl night.
All right. What's one of them?
So, well, when we've done it before, just sort of listening to records. But
I thought you meant you like to get together and lay floors and stuff.
Yeah, no. Anyway, but the other weekend, a few weekends ago, he'd set a couple of turntables up in his bar, and he said, "Do you fancy having a spin?" So I thought, do you know what?
Does he DJ?
Yeah, he does.
It's a bit of a hobby. He does. Yeah. He said, "Do you fancy having a spin?" So I said, do you know what? I said, I'll go in the loft and I'll get some records and I'll come over. Went over for a couple of hours and really enjoyed it. Anyway, a couple of days before Friday, he said, I think we do a vinyl night, and I want you to come and do some mixing, and we'll, and I just enjoy it. So, I sound so. So Friday came along, and Ellen messaged me. She was just finishing work. She said, before we go to Seb's later on, do you fancy going to Tiger for a couple of pints? And I said, yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, we will. So I'd finished work. Ellen had nipped out, and so I thought, right, I'll get it loft, and I'll have a route through my records and, pick some tunes to play that night. Anyway, so I spent, I don't know, a good 20 minutes, half an hour selecting my tunes and whatever, and I put them into record boxes. And as you can imagine, records in boxes are incredibly heavy. So she came back, and I was still in loft, and I heard her, you there, love? I said, yeah, I'm just upstairs. And anyway, she come upstairs. She went, where are you? I said, I'm in loft getting some records for tonight. She went, all right, sound. I said, you couldn't do me a favour, could you? And can I pass you some of these? Because obviously trying to carry record boxes out of the loft, they're really, really heavy. Got to be 30 kilos or something in a box.
Really? That heavy?
Right heavy.
Bloody hell.
I'd say at least 20 kilos, but maybe up to, anyway, I might be exaggerating at 30. So I passed the record boxes out, and I says, well, pass these down and close hatch up. And then I says, get squared up, and then we'll go to Tiger for a couple. So carry his record boxes downstairs, puts them in the living room, gets me trainers and my jacket and everything. Ellen's getting her stuff on, and we're ready. So I goes to go out at the front door, and it's locked. I'm like, why is the front door locked? Ellen says, well, when I came home, I thought you were waiting for me in the bedroom.
What?
Hey, wow.
Oh.
Hey, up.
This is not like you, Mark. Tickets.
I said, I'm ever so sorry, Ellen. I was selecting records.
So you put your boxes down, you swept her off your feet, you carried her upstairs.
What boxes are we talking about here?
We went to Tiger. And then we went to Seb's and I played some tunes, and I thoroughly, really, really enjoyed it.
Well, Ellen didn't. She was looking forward to something else. Bless her.
She were hoping some other boxes got put down.
Oh, bless her. Bless her. speaking of your doors, though, I like your doors.
Thank you.
New
yeah,
doors.
we both noticed it, didn't we?
We did.
On arrival.
Yeah, I noticed your back door. Have you had your front door done as well?
Yeah, yeah.
I walked straight past that.
I've never seen a door like that before, design-wise.
Front door.
With the glass.
Have you not?
Have you not?
It's quite a common
No.
design.
I need to have a better look at it when I leave.
Yeah, really nice. Are you having smart locks fitted?
No.
Smart lock. Oh, as it. Yeah.
I've looked into it before, and again, referencing Seb, he's got them, and he's had a few issues with them.
What lock did he go for?
Yale.
Mine's Yale.
Yours a smart lock. Do you have any problems with it?
Initially, but not now.
I could say we had the whole conversation about Mark and his locks, didn't
Yeah.
I can't remember.
we? Yeah, we did.
I might not have been here on that one.
They work now. I mean, obviously, for example, when I drive home back, because of my phone, obviously it unlocks for me because it knows I'm in area, so it unlocks.
Yeah.
So I don't have to mess about with keys.
It's definitely a consideration. Just for like you said, the functionality and the fact that you can give somebody a temporary key access if you like, so somebody can go in if you're away or whatever. Right there, Rob.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Try to do that quietly.
And even if you lose your key, you can still unlock it. Even when you're abroad, it's fine. It's great.
Yeah.
So
So if the functionality's there, then it's a possibility.
go for it.
Yeah.
I like the. I was reading about the new Apple, all the new Apple tech that's coming out over the next 18 months.
Is that? Well,
And
I can't imagine what they're going to possibly come out with.
I think you all know me by now that
Yep.
anything Apple is just like a red rag to a bull for me.
I mean, are Apple not going backwards a bit?
But they.
I've got a bone to pick with Apple.
They're releasing a doorbell, so like a Amazon Ring doorbell.
Oh, okay.
So they're releasing their own one of them. That's going to have face recognition. So that's going to be more about like you can link that to your smart lock. So then you can literally just walk up to your door, recognise your face, and it'll unlock your door. That sort of thing.
Battery lasts about an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your bone you want to pick with Apple?
Right. So, granted, and I understand the reasoning for this, but Apple have now changed their charging ports to USB-C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up to now, I've had an abundance of chargers that I could select at any time to charge up my Android phone.
Yes.
But now my daughter has a phone that's got a USB-C socket on it, the same as my Android phone. Can I, for the bloody life of me, ever find a USB charging cable?
Because
She's took them all.
Yeah, I'm exactly
And I'm like,
the same.
please just go back to your old lightning cable and give me my USB-Cs.
See, I'm all right because I've got an iPhone 9 Plus. I've still got the old Lightning connector. So I'm all right, you
Anyway.
I mean, I know we spoke about this before, but we need to get, as a country and as a world, we need to stop all this different charging. We just need a universal one.
Well, that's what they've moved to.
And
isn't
that's
it?
what we need to.
Yeah.
But we're just so slow as a. I mean, we as humans, we're stupid because we're all. It's all about money all the time. It's always about money.
Yeah.
I'm having a bit of ammonia, innit? Companies all about. Apple saying, "Oh, we'll change it."
Mark's turning gangster.
Do you know what I mean? We're never going to.
Having a moan, innit?
I mean,
You get me?
I know we move on as.
Innit?
I know we move on as with technology. But then it's all based around money,
Innit?
And as humans, like I said, we're just going to fail because it's.
You can't go back to good old days where you got everything for free.
But we're just going to fail because we just,
We are very slow.
We're all out for, everybody's out for themselves. You know what I mean? And it's just stupid.
You know what I say?
It's
Put your
frustrating.
iPhone down, put your Android down, get a Nokia. That's the future for me.
Do you know what?
Go
I
old school.
reckon if you'd still got a Nokia in a drawer somewhere and you opened it up, it'd still have some charge in it.
It still work.
Yeah.
Oh, 100% it would.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting one.
So you enjoyed the vinyl night because it's
I
been a
abs-
while since you've done all that. Did you? Could you still work on the old 1210s?
Well, they're Pioneer.
All right.
That he's got. Don't get me wrong. I was rusty, but really, do you know what I really enjoyed about it? And I think unless there's anybody out there that does any DJing or whatever, you'll probably see that modern DJs with digital stuff, laptops, controllers, CDJs, all the modern tech. It's so much easier in that you line your track up, you can match your BPM either manually with your pitch fader, or you can press the sync button to do exactly the same thing.
I like that sync button.
To me, there's no difference to
Yeah.
either. And some
Beat
people go,
sync.
"Oh, why are you pressing the sync button for?" Well, you slide your pitch fader and it tells you what BPM it's at anyway. So the same difference. But what it does, it takes a hell of a lot of the work out of it, and because it's digital, it maintains a constant speed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with something mechanical, as in a turntable, you can sometimes get what's called wow and flutter, which is where the turntables speed up and slow down. The better the turntables, the less they do it.
Unless it's a direct drive. And then
you still get an element
a
of
little
it.
bit, but not as much as you did with
what I'm saying is
with
you don't get any
with
with
a band.
you don't get any with digital, but there's an element of it with mechanical turntables, and so there's a bit of work, and also not necessarily all records have the center hole pin in the exact middle of the record. So sometimes if that's off center, you then create the record at times it'll seem to be playing marginally faster than at other times. I don't know if you've ever done.
Because it's like an oval.
Exactly.
So it's elongating
in
on
effect. So you're constantly working the two records to keep them in time, mixing them. And for me, that's the art.
Yeah.
That's the art, because you've got two things really. You've only got one chance to get your mix right, because you're literally, once you're at that point, there's no looping. There's no time to buy it. You can't buy yourself any more time.
There's no queuing.
You're in the live. Well, there is queuing.
Well, yeah,
but it's manually. Yeah. You've got to get that right.
Once it goes, it's like
that's what I
my
mean.
mom says, there's no
Once you
looping.
drop the beat,
and you're managing it throughout the mix. And so, I were doing it for 3 hours, I think. And literally, I was working all that time. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't physically working in the, this is hard work. I was really enjoying it, but because you're crafting. Do you know what I mean? And for me, that is the art of DJing, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I've been out today and bought some more records. And I don't tell them how much I've spent. So yeah, it was fantastic. Honestly, yeah, really good.
Does she listen to this podcast?
Yeah, sometimes if I put it on, so I'm going to choose not to put this one on.
Okay.
Mark,
Me?
I'm meaning to ask you.
Yes.
Do you remember the other week we talked about the program Into the Manosphere? Something Manosphere?
Louis Theroux.
Louis Theroux, yes.
And you said you were going to watch it. Did you watch it?
I did, yeah. It was on. It's on Amazon. Was it on Amazon or Netflix? No, Netflix.
Yeah.
I have watched it. Yes.
All right. What do you think?
Yeah. It was an interesting documentary.
Yeah.
And again, I've got to remember bits from it. I took some notes.
Oh.
So that'll probably help me.
That's so we know we're getting serious.
Yeah, the guys were on it. To me, I know what the subject was about, but it also blends into the world, which I know we've spoken about before, about media creators and content creators, because they are a little bit of that as well. So I think, yes, I know they've got their opinions, but a lot of it is based about trying to make money and trying to be, what's the word?
Viral.
Go viral and stuff. And obviously, with a lot of stuff, it tends to be the more controversial you are, the more hits and more views you're going to get, which I find frustrating. But that's what the world we live in. So if you're just sitting on fence and you don't really have an opinion, or your opinion's like, well, you should be nice and say please and thank you. Nobody's interested in that. So particularly what was his name? That guy on there. What was his name? What's his name? I forgot what his name was. Sneeko.
Yeah.
Was it him who was super controversial?
Yeah.
And again, I know this is not the subject matter we're going to talk about. We're talking about, what they were talking about, but he was he were being controversial just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Is anybody going to throw? I can sit here and talk.
And sadly, the girls that were associated with these people were only interested in their money.
Of course they were,
weren't they? So materialistic.
I think the thing that I like when you said that, I was like, wow, from that documentary, you took that it was about people wanting to be influencers.
No, I didn't. I'll talk about. There's about 20 bullet points I've got here.
I was going to say,
bullet points.
I've just started with that.
I guess it's the fact that you led with that. Like that was the biggest thing of the documentary.
Yeah, but I do agree with Mark a little bit, that because I was a little bit let down, disappointed about the documentary, which is unusual for me with Louis Theroux, because I actually think he's brilliant. I think some of the stuff that he's done in the past is been borderline genius.
Some people say they think art. They look at me
Absolutely.
and go, Are you Louis Theroux?
Oh, you
Absolutely.
do look like him, yeah.
Do I?
100%.
That's one of my bullet points.
It is true.
It is. You look very much like him, and your mannerisms are very
Yeah,
like
yeah.
him as well when you watch the documentary. Yeah, absolutely.
Sarcastic.
And his body
I
language.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it's one thing, it did let me down because it talked about entering the manosphere and talked about the manosphere. And the manosphere is obviously a massive, massive topic, you know, but what he did is he concentrated on the people that have got a platform and trying to drive a platform because of it. And half of me walked away from it thinking, but do these people really think that, or are they doing it
Yes.
to get
make
clicks?
money.
Are they
Yeah.
doing it to make money? Are they doing
That's
it to
right,
get a
yeah.
following? You know, whereas there are people out there in the world, if you like, that truly believe in that.
Andrew Tate.
They believe in it. They believe in that's how they live their life and that's how they treat people around them. For getting no money from it, no exposure from it.
Well,
so
I'd have to remove Andrew Tate back out of that.
yeah,
for that
yeah,
bit.
but this is the thing so I do get where Mark was coming from. That I do actually think that it's a major part of the documentary because he just concentrated on these people that are doing it almost for a living.
Yeah.
Like
See-
if there were no money in it, what I'm trying to say is if there were no money in it,
They would be doing it.
Would they still be doing it?
Yeah.
See,
Exactly.
It's funny that you should say it because I saw the social media side of it as completely like secondary. I was almost, to me, it's like, yeah, on the back of this, they do that, which is the social media thing. But for me,
but what do you mean by that? They do this, and what do you mean by they do
the
this?
this is the trying to tell other people how to be a man, trying to show or explain to other people that masculinity is a thing, basically going down the lines of masculinity is being downtrodden. We're not respected. Men are on the decline. We're undervalued. We're not respected. We're not all this, and therefore them trying to tell other men, this is how you combat. This is how you become a man. This is what you should be doing. This is how you need to do it. And they're doing that through social media.
Can I just throw something in there?
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
see that part of that. I sort of understand where they're coming from because I think that is a thing. I think men are being a bit undertrodden. I think they're all being sort of shouted down at.
Yeah.
I think men are having a tough time. But
Yeah.
of course, it's like everything else. It goes, I understand that level of it, but then they go to the extreme where they're going, right, well, what we
100%.
need to be doing is we need to be slapping women down and we need to be telling them what. Well, no, forget women. Just let's men get a bit of on a bit of a par. And what's I know I can't.
Is he?
I'll go and get me jump leads,
And,
Mark.
because I think men do have a tough time. I think that's the point. But they just take it to a whole new level. I mean, to me, it's a bit like if you've got like right-wing opinions, you're then suddenly tarnished by being, people think you're far right. Just because you've got right wing, or like if you've got left wing opinions, you're then a loopy lefty.
I know.
It's not. Do you know what I mean?
It's valid, that, Mark, yeah.
That's where
I know what you mean.
So people like these not these particular men, but men that feel men who feel they're undertrodden a little bit, or sort of put upon, or whatever. I know, my brain's then I agree with them. But then they take it to a whole new level, which is not acceptable.
Based on what you're saying, is that kind of thing at the minute where it seems as though you can't say the word masculinity without someone putting the word toxic before it. Yeah,
Exactly, that's a good example
It's very
of that,
much
yeah.
become toxic masculinity.
Yes, that's right.
Is something I see a lot on social media. It's toxic masculinity, or they use healthy masculinity. Like there's not just masculinity. Like, you know what I mean? It's either healthy or toxic. They've kind of. So I do get what you mean in that it's become very segmented in terms of people are scared to use the word masculine these days about men because it seems to come with this idea that masculinity is not a good thing. It's bad. It's not healthy for men and has detrimental effects to relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Which I again, I'm with you. I don't necessarily agree with that. I don't agree with it at all, in fact. But yeah, I felt as though that's where the documentary was going in terms of it was showing these characters, these people, they're not characters, but these people that believe this and are pushing, whether as you all said it, whether it's something they believe in or whether they're hyping it up in order to be able to sell a product or earn money off the back of it.
Yeah.
You know, and both of them, at both of these points, are a problem in my opinion.
They are a huge problem.
Talking of masculinity, I wear the trousers in our relationship.
But is that in the crazy dream that you have every night?
But Ellen told me today that I had to wear shorts. I think, well, the issue is, and whether they believe in it or not, I'm not overly fussed about the fact that they're delivering that message. They want a clap. They want a clap. They want a clip or a slap.
Yeah, they do.
That's it. It's the end of.
Yeah.
What they're doing is, yes, they are doing it on social media openly, but then what they do is, right, you want some more of this, subscribe to our channel. And it's our Telegram or our, what did they say? Is it Telegram? They got some things where you pay a subscription to join their exclusive group.
It is Telegram,
And what they're doing then is they're monetizing it.
Or come to our events. Buy tickets to come to our events.
Exactly.
Join our website.
And all their videos, if you watch all their videos, it's them with sports cars, with glamorous women, in Marbella, Ibiza, wherever, doing glamorous things. There is nothing about it that's got any sort of, for me, substance. It's words, toxic words, and look at what you can achieve by doing what we're saying. Yeah. But actually, the kids don't realise that what they're paying for is their lifestyle.
Yeah. It's because they're paying for it is what's affording that. It's not the way they're living their life that's getting them things.
Yeah.
It's they've sold them the dream and they're paying for them to live
it's
like
pyramid
that.
selling.
It is. It's exactly that.
I mean,
And it feels like it's all off the back of them basically saying, if you want to be valued, if you want to be recognised as
pay me $60
as
a month,
valued man, then it's all about what cars you drive, who you're having sex with, how many women you're having sex with.
At the end of the day, they're just arrogant, self-centered, little, jumped up people.
Go on, Mark, say it. We'll bleep it. We'll bleep it.
Have got no purpose. They don't know what real work is. They don't have a proper job. They're just sponging off others. They're saying things like Kirk said that I don't think probably some of them. I think some of them do believe in what they're saying because I think they believe in themselves. They're that arrogant that they think it's true.
Yeah.
When you say something long enough, you start believing in it.
Yeah.
But I don't think.
Stick up for them for a second.
But I don't think all of them think that.
I'm going to stick up for a second. When you say they ain't got a proper job, I genuinely believe that they probably work very hard because the money that they're earning. It genuinely doesn't come by not working hard. It's just the fact that they're working hard in an industry or at something that morally I think is wrong. Do you know what I mean? I won't say they're not working hard and not they need any defending. But that element of it,
I hear what you're saying. It's
they're probably working hard. But
I understand what you're saying. It's a different world from what I know of. And when you say working hard and when I say working hard, I don't think they're working hard because obviously in this documentary, they're just swanning around, driving the cars around, taking videos. That to me is not working hard.
So, hold on a minute. So, I think we can all agree that the people featured on the documentary are just arseholes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And the message that they're preaching is vulgar. And especially the oppression against women, I think is just is completely backwards and just fundamentally wrong. So I think all four of us around this table can agree with that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So here's my question. Mm-hmm. As for middle-aged men around the table, we are middle-aged.
Mark's slightly older than
no,
I was just thinking.
No, we're middle-aged. Mark's medieval. Medieval. Medieval.
I'll stick with middle-aged.
Medieval. I don't get it.
I was trying to be. I was so fast to be funny, then I got it wrong.
What's the question?
My question is this: is there a problem? So I don't mean about documentary. I don't mean to the extremes. I don't mean.
Do you mean masculinity?
I mean masculinity, men.
Yeah.
Is there a problem that look? We've got a podcast. We've got a platform, and we're talking, and we talk about loads of crap, right? but
Speak for yourself.
we do talk about a load of crap.
Speak for yourself.
But you know, real talk now, as for middle-aged men of the life, do any of us around this table feel oppressed? Do any of us around this table feel as though we can't be who we want to be? And do any of us around this table think there is a problem or an ongoing issue in society with men and masculinity?
Can I be honest? I don't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel it at all. You know, I live and we have quite a traditional relationship, me and Helen, in that, you know, Helen tends to do a lot of the domestic stuff. I don't.
Helen could survive without you.
But
Yeah, Helen could
can't.
survive without me. I probably couldn't survive. Well, I couldn't survive without Helen. That said, as you probably gather, Ellen does quite a lot of manual and physical stuff as well, you know, in the garden and whatever else. And so, but
Well,
we
she
have quite,
fixes everything you break.
well, but the stuff that you can fix, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
some stuff's broken and
Yeah.
beyond all fixability.
Yeah, that is a thing.
So I think, in my respect, I don't consider myself to be like six. What's all that about? I got stuck in a word then,
it's catchy,
and it was
innit?
going backwards and forth. Yeah. I don't consider myself to be sexist or misogynistic. You know, people have relationships however they see fit in terms of whether they share the chores, whether one person. I know some families have pink jobs and blue jobs. You know, and they go, "Oh, that's a pink job, that's your job." But the two of them are fully in agreement about that. You know, that's what you do and that's what you do. And if that works, it works. Because for me, it's not about, you know, masculinity and being equal and being this and being, you know, yes, we need to be equal in terms of, you know, no one's better than you. But what I'm saying is, it's not about having to make sure and saying we need to make sure that you've got the equal number of jobs. If the respect is there across both the people and it's the same both ways, then that's fine. If somebody says, "Look, I don't want to do any of the DIY stuff, I'm quite happy doing the dishes and whatever else and cooking and whatnot," and if that other person's not bothered about doing that, but it's, well, fine, I'll do the other stuff. And so, me personally, in my life, I don't have an issue at home. Out and about, I don't really have an issue. I don't, like I said, I don't go out with any intention to offend or think I'm any better than the other sex or even people of the same sex. So it doesn't really, you know, I might be a bit oblivious to, you know, some of my actions, but I don't think so. I do think that, you know, as we talked about before, that chivalry, I do believe in that, you know, I will stop and help somebody of the opposite sex perhaps more than I would do if they're of the same sex. That's not to say that I wouldn't help somebody of the same sex, but that's an old school thinking.
But I think that's something that's dying. And chivalry. I can't even say it. Chivalry.
What's dying?
Yeah, well, being a knight in shining armour, it's sort of dying, and I think, you know, men are sort of frowned upon if they sort of if they act or have opinions like that. So, like, for example, your relationship, your wedding, your marriage, shall I say, not wedding, your marriage you have with Helen is very traditional.
Yeah.
You know, and I know you three tend to look at me more traditional as opposed to you guys, but yet your marriage is more traditional than my marriage. That's not saying there's no right or wrong there.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But some people would say your marriage is very traditional.
Yeah.
And of course, a lot of, and I know if it works, that's all that matters. That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
As
to
long as
some-
both parties,
you
I
know-
think that's what Mark was saying.
Exactly.
It's
But
about
to-
both parties
but
being
to-
in agreement that that's how they want to
Yes.
live their
Yeah.
lives.
But to some people, that's not right. That's what-
Hear me out here when I say this, because I know you'll be a little bit.
I'm not finished anything where I got to, but go on.
It's very quick.
Okay.
If for some terrible reason that you and Helen ended up not being together and you got with another woman, so are we all right with the fact that you do the dishes and I'll, you know, this other woman could literally be like, how about you get It's not going to stop now.
Come on, Rob.
It's not going to stop.
No, it's
What's
not.
going
I'm
on?
gonna do
This?
the whole absolutely, and I'm going to keep talking so you can't edit it out as well. So yes, say that again, Rob.
So
Press the right button this time.
yeah, if you do
Put
the
your
dishes,
hand in the right position.
If you do the dishes, how about you get? Yeah, because they just will not identify with that way. They
No.
won't be. They won't see it like
well,
that.
Like I said, that's never been the conversation. We've never had that conversation.
No.
I think it's just we've met, we've got on with his life, and that's how we are. That we've not said you do this job and you do that job. You know, Ellen will often said to me, Mark, don't touch that, I'll do it. You know, there probably are times, and there are times where Ellen will say, do me a favour, can you help me out with this? And absolutely, you know. So it's not that jobs are off the scale for either one of us. You know, there's a lot of jobs, even manual jobs and DIY jobs, and I'm like, Ellen, can you help me with this, please? Because I'm not very good on my own with doing stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just a respect thing, and but like I said, the conversation never happened to say these are your jobs and these are my jobs or whatever. If that's the conversation that people have, but they both say, yeah, I don't want to do those jobs that you've got. I want to do these, and it works for them. It works for them. You know, no one's being pushed down or told to do something, you know, that they don't agree with. But yeah, I think there is a lot of talk out there where some people might say, well, I think that's a little bit wrong that, you know, Helen does all that stuff and you do the other stuff.
Well,
my counter argument would be, you all know Helen very well. You tell Helen not to cook. She's a feeder.
Well, that works for you, doesn't it?
She loves cooking. She loves feeding people. You tell her not to do it.
Well,
she'd be mortified.
Listen, I'm with you, and I'm on your side. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but you will have people out there that go, that relationship's not right because it's too old-fashioned, it's too traditional. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not saying I do. You don't.
But I don't think that's got any of their business. If that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do.
But equally, we're not as traditional as in I do my things and Helen does her things. We do pretty much anything that we do in our social lives, we do together. We go clubbing if we go clubbing. I know I'm looking a bit too old to go clubbing. If we go to a gig, we go to gigs together, we go to pubs together. Well, we're on a level peg.
I'm talking very generally. You know, yes. My mum and dad were very traditional, like you and Eleanor. My mum cooked and cleaned. My dad went out to work. He did all DIY and sort of heavy stuff. But of course, they went out together.
Yeah.
And you and Ellen are exactly like that. But of course, my mum and dad are from 1940s, whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's wrong. But some people will see your relationship, if you like, and go, well, that's not right. He needs to be living in 20th century. He needs to be cooking. He needs to be cleaning. Now, I'm not saying he should. I'm just saying that some people will see it that way.
But I want to get down into another level.
Hold on. Before you get to that level,
are you sure you can get back up again?
I just wanted to say that. Firstly, the fact that other people have got these other opinions, it's almost like, have those opinions, but in this situation, that's how they want to live their lives. They live their lives as that's their role, and they also do everything together, which actually your parents were similar to how they live theirs.
Yeah.
It's quite an old-fashioned way of living, and that's that. For me personally, not going into detail about the masculinity side, but I also, with my wife, don't want to do everything together. I actually like to do the bits separate, and for the same reasons that we don't also fall into them categories like you do. But I would never judge anyone that does, nor would I expect them to judge me for the way I do it. But that's a whole different thing.
I'm going to say,
I
think we're moving away from that. So going back to what I was saying about my original point with this documentary is that I think men are moving away a little bit from being masculine because they're sort of going, well, we're living in 21st century, so you should be cooking, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. And that's fine. But I also think because of this, men are losing the masculinity in them. Because, and going back to the chivalry type thing, I can't say that word, can I? As in a man opening a door for a woman, some women would find that offensive. You know what I mean? And that's when I have a problem with that. It's like, well, why should you find that offensive?
Yeah, be offended, that's your problem.
Do you know what I mean? So this is the side of men that I think are getting a bit of a hard time because of that element of things.
Okay, I am going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
And please don't see
me
this.
Personally,
yes,
okay.
you personally.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying you personally is because we've had conversations before, and I know where your head's at with it a little bit. Because you believe there's a problem
with masculinity. In the
masculinity
sense.
and as a society.
I think
and
there is.
stuff like that.
Not for me personally, there isn't.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to get at.
Okay.
my follow-up question to that is why? How has this affected you?
Well, it's not affecting me as in me as a person, but obviously it's affecting my son.
Okay.
And he's 23, my son now. So I've had lots of conversations with him when he was a teenager to obviously, recently. And he's from his perspective, masculinity and how men should be or how they are, he's struggled with this because of he feels that he's his generation, if you like, or being a man is being frowned upon sometimes, and you can get rough deals.
Like you're not allowed to be a man.
Yeah,
but this is what I mean though. I need an example.
Right, okay. Well, I'm not good at examples.
I know, and I know that I'm putting you on the spot.
So let me think about it. And I mean,
I can give you something.
Okay.
So.
Sorry. I've just thought of something.
Go on.
So, for example, I've just so when he's, I'm hoping he's going to be.
Don't stop me now.
I'm hoping that he's going to be okay with me talking about this. But like a couple of girlfriends that he's sort of dated in the past are very much when he's sort of dated them a little bit. They're like, well, you need to have a job, you need to earn this much money, you need to have a car, and if you ain't, you're not going anywhere. Because of the women expecting the man to be doing all the work and doing all the, because they don't want to do anything. Mm-hmm. Now I know you could say, well, what's that going to do with manners?
Yeah.
But the whole point is that he's seen as the breadwinner, and and they.
But that is the manosphere.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
That is masculinity.
That is masculinity.
I think that's lasses that have consumed the same material, isn't it?
It is. But the fact that. But what I'm saying, I'm struggling to.
You're definitely not saying much.
I'm going to get the jump leads.
I'm struggling. I struggle to explain things. You go with your example while I just try
It's
to.
not an example. It's more down the lines of explaining how I feel. That why there's such a change, and it's genuinely down to the fact that what men were, or where masculinity came from, or what defines the masculinity to some degree, is men being men by being like tribal, being quite gangish, and which always comes with a bit of connotation. But I don't mean it in a word of gang like going around stabbing people. I don't mean that type of gang. But where men are men amongst other men. So we are together as a unit, and we tend to have.
Rob, listen. I get what you're saying, right? What I'm looking for is this.
Right.
What part of society right now stops us being not a man?
Okay, everything's too safe. We at the minute in the UK, there's no threat of, well, I say it, but it doesn't feel like it. There's no threat of war. Mm-hmm. No one's gonna come and burgle. No one's gonna come and take over my house.
Yeah.
No one's gonna threaten my family or my wife.
Have you not got news channels?
Yeah. No one's gonna threaten my house or my wife.
Yeah.
No one's gonna threaten my friends. No one's gonna come in my circle of trust and ruin it.
Yeah.
Okay. The second that happens, then that's when masculinity is needed.
Right, right. Listen to my question.
Yeah.
Right. Listen to my question.
Okay.
Everything you've just said, correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've asked whether there's a problem in society against men and against masculinity.
No, I don't think there's I personally don't think there's a problem with society about men and masculinity. I think it's the situation of the world that we currently live in that affects masculinity.
Right. Yes, we live in a different time.
Yeah.
So we don't need to hunt and gather anymore. We don't need to go and, kill, walruses and stuff like that.
No.
We don't need to. What?
Walruses. Walruses.
So we don't. So
you haven't say walrus and chips.
But Ellen's cooking it.
Yeah.
But we don't. We live in different times.
Yeah.
Right. So this is going back to what I've said about the question. As for middle-aged men, up to now, Mark's the only one that's answered it.
Yeah.
Right? As in...
Thank you.
No, the other one.
Oh.
Where Mark said, I don't think there's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? So that I've got Mark's opinion on it.
Yeah.
What I want to know is your two's opinion. Do you believe there's a problem? So as for middle-aged men sat around this table now, do you think that there's a problem in society where men and masculinity is oppressed?
It doesn't affect me. I don't really care.
I didn't say you.
Yeah.
Help me out, Mark.
If you want me to be honest, I think that the media gets hold of something and runs away with it. And what these people have done, they're the same as conspiracy theorists. They shouldn't be allowed social media accounts because other people start watching it and believe in it. And that's the issue. I blame the social media companies. You know,
Well, that's a whole new subject.
well,
We could
it
talk
is.
about.
It is. But what we're talking about is a generation of kids that have grown up on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, and all the other social media platforms, and that is how our kids have learned what's going off outside of their own circle, and because their circles are generally quite small, again because of social media, because their actual real life is quite secular in that they're not mixing with the number of people that we would have done at their age because we were out playing in park and whatever else amongst whoever turned up on that day with a football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were mixing with people all the time. Our kids, generally speaking, I would say, are probably mixing with a handful of people tops in real life.
Yeah.
And the vast majority of contact they have with people outside of that are people that they've probably never met. So the world appears different because they're not actually experiencing what these people are talking about. So they've got no reason to discount it and say, well, it's not existing because they don't know that it isn't. Do you know what I mean? And what these people, Sneeko or Chico or whatever he's called, the
HS
dipstick.
Tiki Toki.
Yes, him, the dipstick.
Yeah, he was a
Honestly,
complete
it
idiot.
boils my piss. It does, because these kids making money off of young teenagers. There are some probably, easily influenced older people in their early 20s and whatever that have latched onto it. Maybe some even a bit older. But I'd like to think that the older people are in the minority. What we're fallen guilty of, unfortunately, is that kids have been allowed, in the absence of us being in that room at the time, because we see them when they're having something to eat or whatever. They come home from school, then they sit in the bedroom and they're consuming this stuff all day, every day.
So let me reframe the question then.
Yeah.
The stuff that these people are spouting on social media,
Yeah.
That's being consumed by the younger generation.
Yeah.
Where, do you sit on the side of that? What they're spewing
Is rubbish.
is false.
Yeah.
Not just.
Now, don't.
Do you think it's incorrect?
Now, don't get me wrong. I do think that there are some liberals out there, and some groups of people that would strongly believe that men are still, and they are statistically in some areas of life, things are weighted. I suppose whether it be jobs, certain jobs and whatever, where it's more male dominated, that just exists.
Yeah.
In the same way that in some industries, females are probably the dominant sex, and there are people out there that truly believe, from a liberal point of view, that there is an issue and we need to be, leveling the playing field more than perhaps what it needs to be, because I think some things can just exist as that. No one should ever say to somebody, regardless of what sex they are, you can't do that job.
Mm-hmm.
Equally, what they shouldn't say is, you must be giving that job to put somebody of that sex, because
That's the only issue I have.
yeah, and I think that's where people
Quotas.
exactly, because for me, the best person for the job should get the job.
Absolutely, 100%.
And I think what these people have done, Sneeko, Chico, HS, Tiki Toki, shitface.
Tiki-Toki were right, yeah.
Well, do you know what I mean? It boils. They've latched onto this, and they've created a vacuum of shite, and drawing kids into it, and
Yeah.
charging them subscription fees for it.
Yeah.
And kids are like, "Oh yeah, we need to believe this because he's driving a Lamborghini." Yeah, you're paying for it.
I mean, the problem with them as well, their attitudes as well, is their attitudes are just so poor.
Yeah.
Because when they were speaking to them, they were like, I don't care what anybody says. If they want to call me a rapist, if they want to call me a misogynist, if they want to call... I think I got
Back to
that right.
dictionary
If
corner.
they want to call me racist, if they want to call me... I don't care. I don't care what they... And it's that element of... They just don't care what people say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when they're doing things wrong. I mean, one of them, like, there were a fight or something in the street and he started videoing in here. He just does not care. And the attitudes, that's going to filter through to these
Absolutely.
younger people.
They're easily influenced.
Going, well, we'll just do what they do.
Because that's normal.
I mean, I know that's
So
slightly different, but...
So I'll ask you again.
Yeah, I can't think.
Do you think there's an issue?
I do think there is an issue for younger people. Yeah,
I think that's the thing. Younger people.
No, you miss it. You're missing my question.
It's not a problem for our generation.
Okay,
But it is a generation thing.
I am going to counter everything that I've just said.
I mean,
Turning into you, Mark. Shut up. Sorry, go on. Carry on. I
I think there is a problem for younger people. Yeah.
No. So give me an example. What the younger people today, the younger men today,
Yeah.
what are they being oppressed with? What are they being? What are they having taken away from them that we had, or that our fathers had, or whatever?
Well, I don't think it's one thing. It's just I think it's a generation thing. What
I'm going to counter everything that I've just said with is that there is still a serious problem in this country with. And I know there'll be people that will argue that the same can happen the other way, and I get that, but it's not on the same scale. There's a serious problem with domestic and sexual violence against women from men.
Yes.
Yep. And it's disproportionate. So it is more men towards women than it is women towards men.
Absolutely.
And so there is a problem in that respect. Mm-hmm. And so I'm all for people standing up and saying, we need to do something about this.
Yep.
Because we do.
Yep.
You know, you look at that Pellico case in France.
Yeah, with the French woman who her husband.
Her husband was drugging her, and there were literally blokes queuing round corner
to have her go on her. Mm. Yeah.
And these people, they were accountants, firemen, you know, they were businessmen. They were people of, I won't say privilege, but of esteemed stature. You know, they weren't just like, you know, bums or whatever. These were business people. There are Telegram groups aside of these HS2 and whatever else you want to call them. Where people, this is where these people met. They met in these forums online, because there are forums for people to meet, and they share videos. People pay for these videos of people drugging women and doing stuff to them. And do you know what I mean? So there is a serious problem in that respect, and that needs tackling. Now, my problem is I don't think what these people are talking about when they you know, chucking their messages around that men should be dominant, this, that, and the other. They're just as bad as that really severe stuff that's they think that they're combating, you know, the imbalance, but they're not.
No,
they're making it
they're
worse.
Encouraging it, yeah.
They're
making it worse.
They are making it worse. Well, it goes back to my original.
You know, you look at the stories with Andrew Tate and his brother. You know, the number of times that they've been in questioning for trafficking women and the stuff that they've done and hitting, you know, he's hit his girlfriend or whatever. You know, they're bad people, and the kids, you know. So I don't, me personally, I do know that I live quite a naive lifestyle. I sort of walk around with my eyes half shut, I suppose, if you like. I take things on face value and just think everything's rosy. And there may be things going off that I'm not aware of. But I don't necessarily see an issue where, you know, there's something happening where they're saying, right, men, you shouldn't be doing this, you can't do this, you're not, you know, and you're being downtrodden, as it were. I think the messages of trying to, you know, level the playing fields, stop certain things happening to women, is being abused by these dipsticks on social medias, spurting the shite.
I've got the answer. I've been thinking, and I've got
42.
it now. Ask me the question, Kurt.
Is there a problem in society with men being oppressed?
Yes. Right.
Example.
Equality. Right.
Okay.
This is the thing at the minute. It feels like everyone's telling us we're all equal.
Okay.
And we're not. We're not equal. People aren't equal.
No,
men
people
are not equal to men. Men are not equal to women. We're very different. And I think that at the minute
I think you're using the wrong word. We are all equal. We're all unique.
Yeah, but
we are all equal.
I would use the word equal.
But
you are no better than me, and I am no better than you.
No, I think that's I don't agree with that.
People are treated differently.
Let's change the topic slightly. Rob, you should not get priority over Gemma for access to anything.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right, that's
you're
equality.
Equal.
Yeah,
that's equality.
Yeah. Okay, so
You
what
might-
is
you
it
might
where
be-
someone's better than someone else?
You might be stronger than Gemma.
Yeah.
Then you're stronger than Gemma.
Yeah.
But you still don't. You are not better than Gemma in terms of
No,
stand-ins?
I didn't
You
say.
don't-
No, I didn't say better.
No.
In that respect, but
I know, but I'm just sort of trying to dig down into
But
where you were going.
But we aren't equal. So when we aren't equal in a way that
You are.
I mean, we're saying we should all be, but of course we don't live in a world where people are treated equally. Everybody's treated differently. It's a fact. It's just how we are.
Yeah,
it's just the fact of the world.
I don't mean about how people are treated. I mean as we're not equal in the same things, right? So you could. Women do not have the same muscle mass as a man. Therefore, we are not equal
true.
in muscle, right?
Yeah, true.
Do you agree with that?
No.
Okay.
Because if you were to match a man that doesn't focus on building muscle mass versus a woman that fully concentrates on building muscle mass, then that female will have more of a muscle mass than the male.
Yeah.
So you can't say men and women.
No, because no woman would be able to have the same muscle mass as a man if they both trained at the same. If you both give them the same stimulus, a man will always end up coming out higher up on, and in that situation.
Let Mark speak before he bursts.
No, but end of the day, it's simplistically. I mean, I know you're sort of going, well, I mean, a woman could be stronger than me, for example. But generally, getting through all the bullshit, men are generally stronger than women. Fact, that's it. End of. There's no debate in it.
Yes, but that doesn't come down to equality.
No, but that's the point.
I didn't say equality.
That's the point.
In terms of
the point that Rob's making is men are generally stronger than women. End of. That's it.
Yeah, we're not equal in that respect, are we?
No.
Yeah, hold on.
One is more.
Hold on.
You're getting lost in the whole
You are,
thing.
right, hold
Because
on.
If you're going down that route, you could say that all women are more intelligent than men.
You're right, and that's that's my argument.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this, right?
Yeah.
If there was a job, right, that relied mainly on strength, based on your analogy that generally men are stronger than women.
Yes.
And there was a job that required the person to be strong.
Yes.
Do you believe that women therefore should not be able to apply?
They can apply.
Okay, stop.
Yeah.
That's equality.
Yeah.
That's equality, right? Now, going back to what we said before, the best person should then get that job. So if then the man is more strong than the woman, and that's what's important, then the man should get the job.
I'd say that's equal opportunities. It's not equality.
It is.
That's what it is. Thing, Rob. That's what I'm saying. You're using the wrong word.
All right, okay.
You're using the wrong word when you say equal.
Does it matter? The only words.
What is the right word? What is the right word? When someone
ability. We all have different abilities.
Okay, yeah.
We all have different strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah. Well, of course, yeah.
But we are all equal. We're human beings.
Some are more equal than others.
Yeah, I think I'm obviously I might sound like when I say we're not equal, I'm not saying we are better. I'm just saying at certain things we each
have different abilities.
Yeah.
Abilities.
Attributes.
Abilities.
Yeah.
It's not equality.
I mean, for example, like if working on an oil rig, right?
Yeah.
Generally, men work on oil rigs.
Yes.
Right. Women, I'm sure women can apply,
yes.
but most of the time, men's are going to get the job because men are stronger than women.
Yes.
That's it.
But women should be able to apply.
Well, of course.
Right.
But in fairness, it's just a tick box exercise, isn't it? End of day, because generally they're not going to get the job.
No.
Well, it is.
No, because you're really pigeonholing a complete industry down to having to have strength. Because on that rig, you might need someone who's good with data telecoms or whatever.
I did wonder what you were going to say. I thought you were going to try and be funny and go down a completely different avenue there.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be careful.
I'm only talking generally, but if I had an oil rig, I would generally want men working on it.
No, you'd want the best person working for it.
Yeah, which would probably be men. To counterbalance that.
On that note, should we speak?
Hang on. No, listen. To counterbalance that, right? Like a female.
Counterbalance it, you'll need some women.
Right? Well, that's what I'm saying. There's jobs that I'd prefer women to be doing than men.
No, but surely you would want the best person doing the job. End
regardless.
of story. Regardless.
Yes.
So therefore, the sex of that person is irrelevant.
It is.
If you needed...
However, how many women work on oil rigs?
Right, listen.
We don't know, do we?
We don't know.
We don't, but I bet it's more men.
It will be.
Traditionally. Then I rest my case.
Because traditionally, more men tended to work in those kind of industries.
Traditionally, there's more women that work in housekeeping in hotels than there is men.
Yeah.
Does that mean that men can't make a bed?
No,
I can't.
You're taking two arguments and you're blending them.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying my opinion. If I got an oil rig, I would prefer men working on it.
See, that's completely. I disagree with you so wholeheartedly because
it's illegal.
What you're saying is you're doing it based on the gender, not on the ability. And at the end of the day, what you should be saying, if you owned an oil rig, you want the best people to do that job. If that ends up being all men, then that's what you should be allowed to do and not have to have a quota of women because that's the thing. That's the difference. But you should have... So if you needed to employ 100 people and 1,000 people applied and all the 100 people was women that did the job better than the 900 men, then you should employ the 100 women.
That's correct, but that would not happen, would it? It would be mainly men.
Not if you owned it, no.
I have no idea.
It would be.
I have no statistics whatsoever about how many men and women work on oil rigs. But I have none.
I have no idea, but I bet there's more men.
And you are likely right, based on the fact that it's a very traditional...
I don't know why you're arguing with me. You're arguing against what facts are. Facts are more men work on oil rigs than women.
You have no idea that.
Well, do you want to bet?
No, I don't want to bet.
I'll bet £100 on it.
I don't want to bet because you're probably right. What I'm saying is you're sat there going, this is fact. And what I'm saying is you have no right to say that because you haven't fact checked it. What I am going to say is you are probably right. And I have no issue with what you're saying. What I have an issue with you saying is if I owned an oil rig, I would want all men working on it.
No, I did not say that. I said I would prefer men to be on it. That's not.
Why?
That's not because it's a man's job in my eyes. So
why
I would prefer men working on it.
Why? Why is it a man's job?
I do not understand why you guys have a problem with me saying that I would prefer men
because
in this job.
Because you're judging it on sex, not on ability.
No, because men would be better generally. That's the facts how it was.
I don't even know what all the jobs are on an oil rig.
I'm going to say, if
I'm talking about actually drilling for the oil, working with heavy machinery.
Yeah, because there's very just drilling alone.
I'm just generalising this. I'm just being very general.
I get the general part. I agree with you on the general part.
Well, that's all I'm saying.
No.
No.
The general part I agree with. The general part that probably
that's the bit I'm saying.
No, listen to me. That probably more when men work on oil rigs. Probably the likelihood is that more men go into that role and are better suited to that role because they're generally they're stronger. I have no issue with that comment. What the issue
that's my comment then. If you don't, you've just said you don't have a problem with that comment that I've just said.
Yeah.
But now you're going to say you got a problem with it.
No, I'm going to say with the problem is the next thing you said.
Where did I put them boxing gloves on?
If you owned an oil rig,
yes,
you would prefer all men working on it.
I would prefer all men working on it.
That's the issue I've got.
Why?
Because why is your mindset not I would prefer the best people for the job to do it? Whether that's man or woman.
Right, I would prefer the best men.
Mark. Right, listen.
The best men.
Right, listen. Let me put it like this. Right. If you've got a 50 men that are 6 stone wet through, not a single ounce of muscle on them, look like Mr. Muscle that from the advert. Hear me out.
I think you all split. You're all splitting hairs.
No. Just hear me out a minute. So you've got 50 men that all look like the Mr. Muscle advert, right? They've got not an ounce of bit of muscle on them. They've never been to a gym before. And you've got 50 female athletes that are strong. They work out, they lift weights, all that. And someone said to you, right, mate, you can either have them 50 men that look like Pee Wee Herman, or you can have them 50 women that are fit, athletic, and have worked out. Who are you going to pick?
But that would not be how I would do the interview process.
That's not that's
the ones
not the
that
point.
can swim.
Yeah. Who would you pick?
Well, that's a hypothetical situation.
But right, who would you pick?
Well,
the whole thing is you don't really own an oil rig, do you?
No.
I'd pick the strong men.
There was no strong men. The option was the men that are weedy, look like Pee Wee Herman, or the women that are strong and athletic.
Well, I'd pick the women.
Right.
Cool.
So you would pick the best person for the job.
I'm not, listen, before you start, because I know what you're going to say, I'm not talking about probability. I'm talking about the wording that you used of, I would prefer all men working on it.
Yes.
What I'm saying is...
I would prefer, but if I advertised a job and say 80 women turned up and 20 men turned up and the 20 men were rubbish, then I would employ the women, yes.
So seriously then...
You'd prefer to have 50 women that look like Rob more than 50 men that look like me.
So on a serious note then, right, if you had 100 jobs opening, right, and you had a woman that was just that whatever your recruitment process were, you know, lift that big weight, do this, do that, or whatever, and she could match any guy that in the interview process like for like, right?
Yes.
But it was like for like. Your final decision would be based on gender.
No.
What would it be based on?
Well, again,
I'm good looking, sure.
I'd have to go through the full interview process
Right,
with her.
all I want to get to the bottom of is if that person was exactly the same as the male, that she would have just as much chance of getting a job on your oil rig than the man.
Yes.
Then that's all I needed to hear.
But I also live in the real world where if I have advertising for oil riggers, they're going to be generally men that apply for it.
I agree with you. I have no issue with the generalisation or the probability. No issue with it.
That's the only point I was saying.
The only line I didn't like was when you said, I would prefer to employ all men.
And what I don't like from you three is you try to make me sound sexist. I'm not sexist. I'm just living in a world of, if I'd got a job where women generally do a job, for example, if I'd got an hotel and I wanted rooms cleaning, I would only employ, or I'd like to only employ women. So that's not me going, I do not like women doing jobs. I prefer women to be cleaning rooms. I prefer men to be on oil rigs. That's generally what I'm saying.
I know, I'm with you, but in our defence, and Kirk's in particular, and it's not that we were trying to make you sound like anything else. Your choice of words.
I think you'll find if you listen back, we was actually trying to help.
Yeah.
You was making yourself sound sexist, and we was trying to clarify that that's not what you meant.
Again, as per usual, you don't let me fully explain, because I was going to say, for a woman's job, I was going to say I would employ women. So it's nothing to do with the sex. It's down to what I would prefer.
You've gone back to where you were now.
No, not at all.
What's your opinion on it? What do you? The question you've asked us. What do you think?
I don't think there's a problem, and I think that there's people out there that have been wrapped up by social media and the media into believing that there is a problem.
Yeah.
Just like people
and
think,
it's been exploited.
Just like people think there's a problem that you're not allowed to say Merry Christmas anymore. It's a load of crap. Of course you're allowed to say Merry Christmas.
And planes are spreading things, chemtrails and things.
You don't have a vaccine because the government want to track you. It's all a load of brainwash gobbledygook.
Yeah.
There isn't a problem. The end of the day, there is equal opportunities. People should have the right to apply for any job they want. The best person should get that job. I would say the only caveat that I would give to it is the whole quota thing. That what I don't agree with is someone saying, for instance, if Mark had an oil rig and if he had 100 vacancies and all 100 people that was better for the job were men, he should be allowed to employ the 100 men, not have to employ at least 10 women just to tick a box.
Yes,
that's where I think he's wrong. And I think
it is wrong. Yeah,
but I don't think you will find many women that would disagree with me that was wrong. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
so do I think that men are being oppressed? No. Do I think that there's a problem with masculinity? No. Do I think that there's anything that we have had taken away from us as men that we didn't have before, that as fathers didn't have? Not at all. And I believe that it's all been grown through toxic social media and media about that there is an issue when there isn't.
Time at the bar, please.
So, I hear what you're saying. I agree with most of it. I think the only thing that I'm on the fence with is masculinity in general, which is nothing to do with people and how we're treated and how we're being told we should. None of that. I genuinely, and I started to say earlier, and I think it's probably another conversation because I think it can go quite deep, and I think it's more interesting than anything. It's not like I'm not coming with anything that you don't already know, but it feels as though the way life used to be and how we are as primal like people, and the way that like a bit like animals in the wild, the way that they are, it's what they are. and what we are as men and what women are as women and how we differ, because we do differ, don't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And how we differ, I think it's like at the minute in today's society, we're almost been trying to blend together as though we are the same and that we're meant to be the same, and we're not the same.
We're not.
We were never meant to be the same. And I think that it's that that's causing a bit of a problem. But I think it's a conversation for another time, because I think there's a good conversation in it, and I won't want to, because it will go on forever. So yeah, but yeah, I agree with what you said. I do agree with everything else you said.
I don't agree with Kirk at all what he said. I think there is a problem.
Do you know what?
But you can't give me an example.
No, I can't off the top of my head. If I go away and research it and come back, I could, yeah.
I bet you can't come back with an example.
I bet I could.
Okay.
Well,
challenge set.
We will be waiting here.
I mean, the program of what we watched, the Manosphere. I mean, that in itself is causing a problem, because it's sort of going full circle on itself.
Yeah.
If you like, because obviously I don't agree with how they are on this program at all, but they are causing the problem. And again, I'm not explaining
They're
myself.
emphasising a problem that's not there.
Well, they're emphasising a problem, which there is a problem, but they're making the problem worse.
Yeah.
Because the problem is there, but not on the scale that they're saying it is.
Yeah.
And they're just not doing any favours.
When it comes to Manosphere, what I feel sorry for is the young lads that are being made to think this is normal. This is normal. This is what you need to be when you grow up. And this is how you need to act.
Well, that's why us as men, and I would say us as men, because I think it's us that have to lead the way on this.
Yeah.
We have to get in the way of that message and say, no, that is not right.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not even the misogyny bit that, again, that all bothers me, but it's the expectance of you should be driving a fit car, a really nice car, and if you aren't, you've failed.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't look jacked and you haven't got biceps that are 4 inches high, you've failed.
Again, it comes back to the whole social media thing.
I was just about to say,
I literally had a verbal brain fart then.
It's literally, for me, it's a little bit like what we went through 20 years ago with supermodels being stick thin and women being made to think that is what is sexy. That's what men want. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't, but that's what the press were making people think by only putting women on certain things that had these stick figure. Figures. Very thin figures. And that's what people want, and that's what you should aspire to. That's what we went through 20 years ago, innit? 20-ish years ago?
Yeah.
And now it's more,
30 years ago.
People being, probably. People being, high achieving. You've got to be up here, you've got to be,
Well, it's not changed that much, though, has it, really, in modelling world?
No, I think it's going in the right direction.
Oh, it is.
It's got a way to go.
Yeah.
It's got a long way to go, because, I mean, end of day models are usually very middle of the road, aren't they?
Yeah.
It goes back to social media. They're just enabling false narratives, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then,
speaking of models, shall we spin the wheel?
I was going to say something then.
Here we go. Oh, it's spinning.
What's it going to be?
Oh, this is so exciting. Come on. He's nearly there. The Wheel of Features.
Have you finished interrupting me with theme tune?
Sorry.
Yeah, at least you pressed the right
I
one.
was scared Mark were going to say any more.
I'm just amazed you pressed the right button.
No.
Yeah.
And didn't bleep me.
I know, well, yeah.
I had a rate we had dream overnight. Yeah, congratulations, that's 2 on the bounce. We went on holiday, Ray, went to Turkey. And we were... I'll describe where we were, so it's got no relevance really, but... Yeah, I won't describe where we were. Anyway,
It all started in 1979.
Anyway, we were in Turkey, we were on holiday, and got a bit bored in the resort. So I thought, I'm going to go for a walk. So I went for a walk to sea, and then there were like some rocks that you could walk on in sea.
Right,
like stepping stones, but it were almost like a wall that rinsed. But you could walk on top of it, but you could only like see the top. I don't know, 12 inches, let's say, that's sticking out of water. And I walked all the way along it, and I came out in Tenerife.
Right, I forgot that you started by saying you had a dream.
Yes.
So did I.
Yeah,
So did I.
Ended up in Tenerife.
Wow.
And then we got on an open top bus to come back, and Darcy missed bus, and she was just stood there looking up at us on this open top bus as we drove off, and she was just stood there with her boyfriend. She hadn't even got a boyfriend. We hadn't even got an open top bus.
No, I didn't think you had.
Yeah.
Was that it?
That right? What sort of dream is that?
The Wheel of Features.
Right, so is there anything to go over from last week?
Yes.
All right, yeah. Oh, it was yours, wasn't it,
There's
Kirk?
the plot puzzle.
Oh,
Yes.
do you know what?
plot
I've
puzzle.
been thinking about
Have I
this
had a
one,
go-
actually.
Did I ever guess?
Yes, because I'm with you.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
I can't remember.
I must be wrong
I can't
then.
remember even doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a sentence where 5 words that made up a sentence. Inheritance plan involves excessive running.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you said Brewster's Millions.
Yeah.
And that's what I think it is. I can't think of... that is, for me, is what it is. I can't think of anything else.
I did say one.
You
did I?
did.
Mousetrap.
Mousetrap. Is that
Yeah.
what it's called?
Or Mouse
Yeah.
Hunt.
Yeah,
but
see,
Mousetrap.
I if I'm
Yeah.
honest, I think Brewster's Millions, and I could be wrong here, falls outside of Kirk's circle of films that he might have watched. Have you
Well,
ever watched it?
About 17 times. It's
But
one of my
About 17 times.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
one of-
yeah, it's not like you to
I'm
exaggerate.
going
one of my
with Brewster's
favorite
anyway.
one of my favorite films, Brewster's
it?
Millions.
Right.
I love it.
Then I'm going with that anyway, because
Yeah.
I've racked my brain on this one.
Rob, I think you're going to kick yourself.
Why is it Forrest Gump? No.
Inheritance plan involves excessive running. Ready Player One.
Just say it again. Just
I've never
just
seen
let
it.
me
No,
acknowledge
I've
that.
not seen it. But
Inheritance plan
you watched it recently,
Yeah.
did you?
Inheritance plan. Yeah.
involves excessive running.
Yeah, I can see it now a little bit, but it still seems to fit Brewster's Millions more than
Well, no,
it does
he
that.
didn't run at all in Brewster's Millions, but,
but-
inheritance plan.
Well,
yeah,
if
Ready
you're going
Player
to say
One.
that, inheritance, that's it. Mousetrap, that's about an inheritance. The whole film's based about inheritance.
It's Ready Player One,
Well,
and the book's better than the film. Just putting it out there.
yeah, it absolutely.
By a
is.
country mile.
Shall we spin the wheel?
Yeah, let's spin it.
Yeah, let's spin it. Are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
It's yours, Mark.
We bring to you today's broadcast.
I have a dream. They think it's all over. It is.
It's one small step for man. You must stay at home. Today in history.
So,
I like this.
it's been a while, hasn't it?
It has.
Hang on.
Right.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Are you
Sorry.
with us, Mark?
I knocked my microphone off at stand and my cable came out.
Right,
Can you hear me?
I've
I
got-
can hear you.
I've got to get
Loud
my
and clear.
I've
Can
got
you
to
hear
get-
me now?
I've got to get my glasses on.
Oh, yeah.
And your magnifying glass.
And a small piece of paper. Right, here we go then.
Just state of that. Just show them the size of that writing.
Well, show what? The listeners?
No, just show, Mark.
What?
It just looks like a dot to dot.
What's wrong with that?
That's ridiculous.
It's not. It's because when I write it out, you see, obviously I get all these random facts from different places, but then I have to put the years because it's in order. So I have to write it really small so I can fit everything in.
We should probably get a woman
Anyway,
to do this
fir-
feature because
so
it might be a
fir-
bit better.
1st of May in history.
First of May,
Time
yeah.
flies when you're having fun.
1st of May.
Today,
so
yeah.
in history, a lot's going off. I tell you what.
Well, I can
Is
see
it?
There's a lot going off.
Is there?
There is a lot of
that
stuff.
looks more like a postage book than a postage
Right,
stamp.
shall we start then? As usual, we go way back in time, so we're going back to 1707.
Ooh, when you were a lad.
Yep, 1707. So the kingdoms of England and Scotland officially became one political state. That's when it was in 1707, and that's when it was formed as the British. Sorry, does that say British? Oh no, it was the Acts of Union. That was the act. That was what it was called under the government. And that's when we became Great Britain. That's when it was established. 1st of May, 1707.
Wow.
There you go.
Riveting.
So, well, if you ever thought when did Great Britain start?
No, I
That's-
didn't.
That's when. Well, I did. 1776. So this guy, Adam Weishaupt. It was,
I love
I
how
don't-
every time we do this, you're reading that like it's the first time you've ever seen it.
I know.
And
I
you've
know.
written it.
Do you know what?
I know.
It's not as if he's copy and pasted it and printed it.
I know.
He's literally written
Wrote
it
it.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Adam Weishaupt, right?
Weishaupt?
What
How tall is it?
Well, he's from Bavaria.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Which is now Germany.
Hunglow.
And he formed, he established the Illuminati. So we're all familiar with the Illuminati, aren't we?
Yes.
And that's when it was formed.
they make lights and bulbs and stuff?
1776. But of course, it's not the Illuminati that we sort of know of today. So
I like it when you go to Blackpool and watch the Blackpool Illuminatis.
So, because by 1785 he'd been persecuted and jailed for it.
Oh
Wow.
So, but that's when it sort of initially started. 1840 then.
Oh.
That's when the world was introduced to the first adhesive postage stamp, and you all know what it is. Don't
How
you?
did that stick?
It's still well.
What, we know what stamp it were?
Yeah,
Penny black?
Penny black. It was. So it was the first adhesive stamp. There was stamp.
What? How would you have known that? The
What?
first postage stamp.
Adhesive one.
Adhesive stamp. There were stamps before this, by the way, but this was first adhesive.
So what did they used to?
What
how
did they
did
do
they
with
use-
other ones then? They just like put it in post along with letter?
Did they use sellotape?
Just a pile of stamps and a pile of letters.
Sellotape weren't invented by 1840.
Right. So.
So they had to put glue on it.
All right, but these ones you licked. This was the first lickable stamp.
Yes.
I suspect
And-
the stamps before it would have been physical stamps.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Like a hand stamp.
Good point. Yeah. And
Thank you.
And
That's an even better point.
Yeah. And what was on it? What was
Penny
on the
black.
What?
Penny black.
Penny black.
Right. And is that a person or a
No,
thing?
it's a sweet.
It was the Queen at the time. I think.
Yes,
it was a picture of the Queen.
Yes.
Oh wow.
It was
Okay.
and it was a penny. And the colour of it was black.
Oh.
So it was a penny black stamp.
Oh. Never knew that.
It's probably the most famous stamp in the
Yeah.
world.
Never seen it.
So did
Never-
I know it was the first adhesive stamp?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
But if it's going to be any stamp, it's going to be that.
That's amazing.
Good fun.
it-
This
it's
is
Never even knew any of it existed.
Did you not? The penny black.
No.
Wow. Well, at the time, I mean, obviously they're quite rare nowadays. They still do exist, but at the time there were 68 million of them.
Wow.
But they're
Wow.
very rare nowadays, and
Yeah.
they can trade up to £20,000 for one of these stamps.
Wow.
So 1851, the first. By the way, obviously that was UK that had penny black. It was, as you know, we're first a lot of things, and this also were first of one thing. 1851, we had the first public flushing toilets, and they were in Crystal Palace in the UK, and they were known as monkey closets.
Oh.
Oh.
Do you know
Why?
Do you know why?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know if I dare ask.
That's what I thought. I thought, do I research this or not? Anyway, at the time, monkey was a slang word for being silly, which sometimes we
being
say
a monkey, yeah.
silly monkeys and stuff like that. And so therefore, and of course, closets are toilets. So they weren't obviously that clean. So that's the reason why they were called monkey closets.
All right.
And it cost 1 pence to use this toilet. And that's where we get the phrase from, to spend a penny.
Spend a penny.
Spend a penny.
Penny.
Because nowhere else in the world had flushing toilets at the time. Obviously, we were the first to have them, and they were in Crystal Palace.
Wow.
So, I'm doing this one for my wife. So, 1852, the Filipina peso was introduced into circulation. She'll probably not know
The
that.
what?
What is it?
The peso, which is
That's a currency, isn't
it's
it?
their currency.
Ah.
The peso.
Oh. Is that how you pronounce it?
It is. I
wow.
absolutely know.
Yeah, no,
It's
I believe you.
That's one word I can pronounce.
And it's the biggest coin in the world. It's 12 inch.
Is that true?
Yeah, 12-inch peso.
I'm going to say I didn't come across one.
you can get it stuffed crust.
God.
Seriously. 1912, Beverly Hills Hotel opens.
Oh, nice.
1930, this is one for our space fans. Pluto was officially named in 1930, the planet.
Oh.
It was discovered by Clyde Tombaugh, but it was actually named Pluto by an 11-year-old schoolgirl from the UK.
Wow. So they did like a competition?
No.
They used to do that at schools, didn't they?
Yeah.
What, competitions? Or?
Yeah, where you could like do stuff and name things and...
Her name was Venita Burney. Now, I remember when I wrote this down, I wanted to find out why it was her that named it.
And you forgot.
And I forgot. So I'll need to get back to you on it. But it was named by an 11-year-old schoolgirl from UK.
She had a dog called Pluto.
Good job they didn't do it nowadays. It'd be what? Plutifface.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Pluto's a planet anymore, is it?
No.
It's been wiped off.
Declassified, yeah.
So that poor 11-year-old girl.
Classified.
1931, Empire State Building opens, and it's the tallest building in the world at the time, and obviously until 1970, when World Trade Center opens.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it should have been then. It should be that. Oh no, it won't be, would it? Because
No.
there's sort of. Yeah, that's right. I was going to say they should.
I know what you were getting
Yeah.
at.
You just
mate.
had half a conversation with yourself.
Yeah, I know. At 1941, Cheerios. Cheerios are introduced.
Cheery Oats or
Che-
Cheerios?
Well, no, Cheerios are introduced, but then they were renamed 5 years later to Cheerios. But 1941.
wow.
That's a long time, innit?
Yeah.
They look quite new.
They wouldn't do if you bought a packet that came out then.
I was
in-
going to say, I
they-
think they've carried on making them.
I know, but you sort of think that they're quite well engineered because they're like quite round sort of. I mean, like cornflakes are like, you go, yeah, I can see why, but Cheerios are quite. Do you know what I mean?
No. You're having another half a conversation with yourself.
No,
And
but
we don't know what you're saying.
I think they
You're
are.
just saying some words.
I think they're well engineered from back then. Anyway,
Well, because they were made after the wheel was invented.
no, but what I mean is, it's a bit like having a donut, right?
Yeah.
We jam in the middle,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah.
But like, if you invented a donut with the jam in the middle, and then you came out with a donut
With a hole in the middle.
with a hole in the middle, you'd go, well, I think the hole in the middle would come first, because the jam in the middle's more engineered, isn't it?
Is it?
I think it is.
What's your next date?
So, 1945,
Oh, here we go.
Hitler's death was announced
Yeah.
Oh, on the 1st of May.
on the 1st of May. Although he didn't die on the 1st of May, it was announced on that day. He
Yeah.
actually died on 30th of April. I don't know what delay was. However, this is a strange fact.
I think they'd not found him, had they, at that time?
Yeah, because he committed suicide, didn't he?
Supposedly.
Supposedly, yeah. What is strange, though, 1945, Hitler was announced dead. 2011, bearing in mind we're talking about the same day, 1st of May, Osama bin Laden was killed.
Oh,
So
really?
they died on the same day. That is very strange,
Never
isn't
knew
it?
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I wrote this fact. I had to double check it.
Double check
I
it.
double checked it.
Quadruple checked.
That's very strange. Obviously, he were killed by US Navy SEALs. 1952, a Mr. Potato Head was introduced by Hasbro.
Oh.
1952. Although
Mr. Potato.
Mr. Potato Head.
Oh, Mr.
Although
Potato.
you know Mr. Potato Head, you can take bits out of him and put new bits in.
Yeah.
This Mr. Potato Head came with nothing.
It was just, you put it in a potato, didn't you?
Well, yeah, kind of.
What?
What do you mean,
The bits.
kind of?
What?
You
Yeah.
got the bits,
Yeah.
but you had to put it in your own potato.
Yeah, I think so.
So there wasn't a
no,
Mr.
yeah,
there
that-
wasn't a Mr. Potato Head. There was Mr. It was a Mr. Potato Head bits.
Yeah, I'll have to come back to you on that as well.
No,
Research it.
you need to come back to anyone. I'm telling you.
Oh.
Mr.
Oh, here we go.
Potato Head.
If Rob's telling
Do
you for
you- do you
certain,
know that
it
for
is
fact?
categorically incorrect.
You got the potato. You got all the parts to make your head, but you had to provide the potato.
Did you have one of these as a kid?
No, I just know that as a fact.
Right.
Oh, he's
So-
bound to be wrong.
But he didn't know what a penny black is.
No.
No, that's strange, isn't it? 1966, we're getting a bit more up to date
Oh,
now.
yeah, yeah.
The
We're
Beatles.
getting a bit moved. 1966.
Oh, we are compared to
60 years ago.
We are compared to 1707, aren't we? 1966, the Beatles performed their last live UK concert at the Empire Pool at Wembley.
Oh yeah, because the last performance was on a rooftop in London, wasn't
That's
it?
right. In 1969, that was their because it was a one-off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
impromptu ad hoc thing. So it weren't classed as a live sort of concert,
Yeah.
if you like. But yes, you're right. The last time they performed all together were 1969 on top of.
BBC.
No, it
No, it was a record company.
studio.
Oh, that's right.
Record
Yeah.
studios.
And his records, yeah.
Oh, Christ. 1989, this is one for me. Disney MG Studios opened in Florida.
Ooh.
1997, on this day, Labour had a huge landslide, and of course Tony Blair got in.
Yeah.
And in 18
Not
years,
be long till there's another.
and in 18 years of Tory power. 1999, SpongeBob SquarePants debuts on TV.
Right.
Oh.
And that's... Oh, is that my fact? Oh, hang on. What's this over?
1999. I didn't think that started the year we left school.
1999, that's when we were
It
introduced.
feels like it started way after that.
I don't
Oh no,
watch it,
I've
I
got
don't
some.
know.
I've got some more. I've got some more. Yeah, 2018, China bans Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig?
China bans it. Do you think it's funny they were banned? Peppa Pig. Can we continue?
Peppa Pig.
Why did they ban her?
For being submersive. Submersive?
What, you mean because she could swim underwater?
That's what it says here.
They banned a cartoon because she could swim underwater.
Subversive.
Subversive?
Yeah, what's that mean? What's that mean?
I don't know.
Google it.
Sorry, can you tell us this whole fact again? Because I've forgot this one.
What, from 1707?
No,
So,
no,
Which
this one? The Peppa Pig one.
It's not much to it. 2018, China bans Peppa Pig.
Oh, all right, brilliant.
For
It
being
makes, when you heard it as it's meant to be said, it makes sense.
That's what I said.
right.
For being subversive.
Right,
And
okay.
I'm going to make an assumption here that it wasn't subversive as we see it. I think it's because because they have quite a closed...
They don't like meat being shown on TV, do they, or stuff?
Meat.
Yeah.
Well, he's not walking around like a piece of meat. He's walking around as a pig.
Yeah, I think it's because of some of the messages that are positive
Yeah.
in the normal world wouldn't be
Accepted
in China,
In China,
in an
yeah.
autocratic
Yeah.
society.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. That's right. Well, it's a bit like Alan Titchmarsh. They show him on China TV, but they blur his genes out because they don't like genes in China. So they blur his genes out.
Really? Is that a fact?
Really?
That's true, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So they like him, they like gardening stuff, but because he wears jeans,
Is it
and
because
China
jeans
don't
are
like
too
jeans.
Western
Do you know?
for them?
It's too westernised. They don't
Do you
like
know,
jeans, so they blur his jeans.
All this time I'm sitting thinking, you're saying Alan Titchmarsh, and all I can picture is Alan Partridge. I'm thinking, I don't remember him wearing jeans.
Yeah, Alan
He
Titchmarsh.
likes
has got
gardening. I'm thinking, does he? I thought you were a radio presenter.
I've still got two more left here.
I've got the wrong
2018,
trousers.
2018, Scotland's the first country in the world to introduce. Any idea?
Finger pointer.
No.
Wait, what year?
2018, Scotland, first country in the world to introduce.
Minimum price for alcohol.
That's correct. Well done. 2019, New York City names a street Sesame Street
Oh.
in 2019. You know reason why?
Yeah, because that's where they grow sesame seed buns.
It could be, but that's not the answer I've got here.
Go
To
on.
celebrate Sesame Street's 50th anniversary.
Wow.
Because it's been going 50
Oh,
years.
it's as obvious as that.
It's as obvious as that.
Wow.
So, as you know, this day in history, today is International Workers' Day. And it's also International Batman Day.
Oh, wow.
No, it isn't.
And
Batman.
famous birthdays, there's not many of them. Tim McGraw, 1967.
Oh.
Rita Coolidge, 1945. Famous deaths today. Ayrton Senna, I think he was
Ayrton Senna.
Ayrton Senna.
Senna.
Ayrton Senna.
Ayrton
Big.
Senna. He was a Formula One driver, weren't he?
Correct.
1994 he died. And if you were...
He died. He didn't dive. He died.
He died,
He
that's what I
crashed.
said. I told Sue Fash you need to keep up. And if you conceive today, you'll be due on 22nd of January. And that's your day in history, 1st of May.
Absolutely
Brilliant.
brilliant.
There you
Well
go.
done, Mark.
It's been a pleasure, boys.
See you next week.
What did
See
you
ya.
think, Tom?
It's been really great.
See you next week, boys.
See you later.
next week.
Bye, 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 bye.
Thank you for your continued support with our independent podcast. Did you know that you can interact with us and other listeners on Facebook, on the Chat in Tap Room Facebook group? You can also get in touch via email, innthechat@gmail.com, and of course on any of our socials. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.